Hello, and welcome to the Faculty of Education Registration 101 workshop. My name is Kaylee, and I am a recruiter and prospective student advisor with the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, representing the Faculty of Education. Before we begin our presentation, it is important to take some time and space to acknowledge that the University of Alberta is located on Treaty 6 territory. We respect the histories, languages, knowledge, cultures, and ways of being of First Nation, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada whose presence continue to enrich our vibrant community. We will start this workshop by first addressing the next steps after you apply, then moving on to planning your degree, and end with tips and tricks on building your schedule. Please note that everything we will be going over today is on our Registration 101 website at uab.ca/reg101. By now, everyone watching this video has submitted an application and received an offer of admission. Congratulations! But there are a few more steps you will need to take to become a U of A student. You will need to accept your offer of admission and pay your non-refundable tuition deposit before you are able to access the schedule builder and enroll in your courses. If you have not already done so, you will want to make sure you complete this important step prior to your enrollment date. For domestic students, your tuition deposit will be $500 and international students' tuition will be $1,000. It can take up to 1 to 3 business days for the payment to process, so give it a few days before you have full access on BearTracks. We will be showing you how to build your first year timetable on BearTracks. However, let's talk briefly about planning your degree first. University courses are assigned credit hours which are denoted with a star. Half-year courses are 3 credits and run for 1 term. Full-year courses are 6 credits and run for 2 terms. There are 4 terms at the University of Alberta. There's fall, which runs September to December, and winter, it runs January to April, and there are optional terms including spring and summer. Spring runs May to June, summer runs June to July. Please note that during fall and winter, you can take a maximum of 5 courses and earn a maximum of 15 credits. For spring and summer, it is 6 weeks, condensed, and you can only take a maximum of 2 courses and earn a maximum of 6 credits. The Bachelor of Education degree is designed to be completed in 4 years, but you have some flexibility to extend your degree over a long period of time. Exceptions to this are during your practicums, where you will have to be a full-time student. Just note that reducing your course load will extend the length of time you spend completing your degree. Here's an example of a 4-year plan. Most degrees are going to require 120 credits. If you are on the 4-year plan, that means you will be taking 5 classes for a total of 10 classes per year. It is possible to graduate from most undergraduate programs after 4 years. You don't necessarily have to be on the 4-year plan. Requirements will be varied by program. Please make sure you check out the online calendar at uab.ca/calendar to look up the requirements of your specific program. For students entering into specific programs or faculties, such as the BEd elementary students, you will have access to the academic requirements section of BearTracks, which will assist you in building your degree plan. You can also visit uab.ca/reg101 for self-guided modules specific to your faculty. Now, before I show you some sample plans and schedules, we're going to go over timetabling basics and planning. There are different types of classes in the university. A lecture is when a professor speaks to you about various topics for the duration of the session. A lab is the hands-on components of a course. A seminar is a class based on discussion, project work, or shared assignments, and it can be much more engaging. There are different class types, including electives, which are option courses that allow you for customization of your learning experience with your programs for what you're interested in. For secondary education students, a major is a subject that's the main focus of your studies within the program. A minor is a lesser focus area of specialization, and it complements the primary area of study, and it can be related to or different from your choice of major. Your choices of major and minor are relevant for your student teaching experience. The university will do their best to place you in a practicum where you have an opportunity to teach in your chosen areas. Course weight and credits indicate how long the course is and what to expect. Now, for classes, there are open versus full courses. Those are clearly labeled on the schedule builder. Open courses will have seats available. Full classes will say full. Restrictions are also important to pay attention to. Some courses or sections of courses are restricted to students in a certain program, such as education courses being restricted to current education students. An example of this can be EDU 300. This course has specific course sections that are limited to students in the B.Ed after degree program. In other words, if you see available seats but can't enroll, the section you are trying to enroll in may be restricted to a specific subset of students. Priority is given to specific faculties or students in specific programs. For example, some courses may have a rolling registration date. In other words, students from one program will be offered registration before students from any other program, and then the course can be released for open registration. Prerequisite is a course requirement that a student must complete before enrolling to a higher level course. Here's a list of requirements from elementary and secondary programs, including credit breakdowns. As you can see, elementary contains generalist courses and options, whereas secondary has a focus on the major and minor subjects. The intro field experience, known as IFX, and the advanced professional term, known as AFX, are the mandatory student teaching experience that each program will have. A senior education course, also known as an education elective, is any 300 or 400 level course offered by the Faculty of Education. Note that if you are an English major, you'll have 12 credits of open option as your 6 credit English requirements that will be completed in your major. So you can actually find all of that information available in the calendar at uab.ca/calendar, along with your program sheet that will be emailed to you after you've accepted your offer. By now, you're familiar with Launchpad, our admission system. However, for course registration, you're going to be using something called BearTracks. BearTracks will be your best friend. This is where you can check out your grades, pay your tuition, register for classes, and more. Get access by using your CCID and password at uab.ca/BearTracks. This is what your schedule builder will look like. For a step-by-step guide on registering for courses, I encourage you to check out the Student Registration Experience Guide video at uab.ca/reg101. You'll want to think about some things before enrolling into your classes, like what prerequisite classes do I need to take to ensure that I'm on the right track to get in the advanced classes next year? Which classes have the fewest offerings? So looking at the number of seats available will show you, and I encourage you to schedule these classes first. And think about, will morning or afternoon classes work better for you? Do you bus? Do you drive? Are you working part-time? Also, you'll want to think about what buildings your classes are in. You'll only have 10 minutes, so make sure you're in buildings close to each other and consider if you need time to grab a coffee or some lunch. Here is an example of what a first year might look like for a student in the elementary program. They are taking EDU 100s as it's a prerequisite for higher level courses, and they are taking generalist courses to fill their degree. This is considered full-time as they are taking 5 courses per semester. This is what it would look like on your schedule builder. Note that some courses are delivered in person and others are delivered online asynchronously. Here's an example of what a first year might look like for a secondary student. They're taking EDU 100 and EDU 210 as its prerequisite for higher levels, and there is more priority for taking their major requirements alongside a few of their minors. For this, they are taking 5 courses per semester, so it is considered full-time. This is what it would look like on the schedule builder. This student is a social studies major and a physics minor. I'll leave you with a few more things to think about. When you're creating your schedule, you want to create a balanced timetable, something that you can manage. If you need to take labs, make sure you're not taking any more than 3 because you will have lab assignments and exams in addition to your regular coursework. We want you to succeed, and of course you want yourself to succeed. Focus on what you can manage. If you're taking out loans, you'll want to consider if you're part-time or full-time. A part-time student is someone that takes 1 to 2 courses per semester, and full-time is a student that takes 3 to 5 courses per semester. I can't stress this enough, but you'll want to check what prerequisites you will need for the following classes in the next coming years. When registering for your education elective, ensure that you register in a 300 or 400 level class offered by the Faculty of Education. And if the class you want is full, Put the class on your watch list when the function becomes available. It can be found on My Schedule Builder. Once you sign up, you will be notified via email or text message if a spot opens up in the course that you want to enroll in. Now, errors can occur when registering, so don't stress. There is an area for troubleshooting on the registration issues section of the Faculty of Education website. If you are having issues registering courses where restrictions are not met or other variations, you can contact the department directly at educ.info@ualberta.ca. Make sure you include your first name and last name, ID number, section and course number, as well as the term and a copy of your program sheet. And if you're ever in doubt, just know that after you register for your fall and winter courses, you can double check your schedule and see if you're on the right track by submitting a registration program check. If you need support, don't forget to use the self-guided modules at uab.ca/reg101. I'd also like to take a second to highlight some important dates. Fall term begins September 3rd, and the fall term add-drop deadline is September 16th. This is the last day that you will have to change your schedule before losing out on tuition. Winter term begins January 6th, and the winter add-drop deadline is January 17th. Please make sure that you change your schedule before these dates so you don't lose out on money. If you have specific questions relating to your program, please feel free to book a one-on-one advising session with us at uab.ca/advising. Also, feel free to connect with us on our social media platforms. We are so excited that you've taken this next step to becoming a U of A student, and we are beyond thrilled that you will be joining our community this fall. No matter where you study, you'll be a part of a friendly, diverse, and incredibly fun student body. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on campus.